Discipline. Disciplinary problems in schools may also be another factor of average or poor performance among students. So those schools who are facing discipline problems are so engrossed in solving those problems, and the attention of the head teacher and the staff is concentrated on solving those problems which are related to the discipline. And also it is a source of disturbance for the students who are involved in the discipline problems and who are being affected in the discipline problems. So that means the time is being invested in order to find solutions to the problems that are prevailing in the school. In that case, the academic performance or achievement would go very low amongst the students. The control of students' behavior becomes a primary concern of administration in the schools. So all the administration is actually focusing and spending most of the time and energy to solve the problems which have been caused due to misconduct and discipline. Therefore, the control of students' behavior becomes more of a concern than the concern of achieving students' goals and achieving high-level results. Therefore, the school is definitely going to suffer because the concentration to work and to invest more time and money and energy is a different field, and that is discipline other than education. So those schools which are involved in lots of misconducts and misbehaviors and are trying to solve those usually face not very good results, rather low and average results. As a result, school policy tends to become restrictive and disciplinary actions highly punitive. That is a study by Meir in 1996. So he says, as a result, the school policy tends to become restrictive. Just as the example of the global situation that we have at this time, because of the misconducts and misbehavior of people around the world have forced the immigration authorities to be putting more and more barriers for people to visit countries and ask for immigration or visas. These services have been restricted because there have been so many cases of misbehavior and misconduct in the world, all over the world globally, that now the governments have become very restricted regarding the entrance of foreigners or expatriates in their countries. Therefore, the visa conditions and the entry conditions are becoming more and more difficult. That is one example, that when there are many examples of misconduct and misbehavior, how do the people try to solve the disciplinary problems, and therefore more and more restrictions are put in place so that in order to avoid such incidents where there is a display of misconduct and misbehavior. Similarly, when schools are having disciplinary problems and when there are committees set to solve the problems, more and more restrictions will be in place in order to avoid any mishappening or an event which could cause disturbance in the school. Therefore, that means the policy would become very restrictive and people will not be free to do and enjoy the activities that they would be otherwise enjoying. Just because of the misbehavior and a discipline policy in place due to this misbehavior, it becomes very difficult for students to interact with other students of other institutions. Because the policies are very strict, people are not allowed to enter schools and they are not allowed to interact with each other. This results in a lot of restriction and less freedom in the school.